Alright, so this is my normal FPS in Warzone rank play. You can see that it's hovering right around the low 200s. My normal FPS on this map is usually anywhere from like 180 to 220. Now, watch what happens when I leave all the graphic settings exactly the same, but enable one single setting in the in-game options. My FPS goes from the low 200s all the way up to the mid to higher 300s with pretty much no change in graphics quality whatsoever. Now, I stumbled upon this setting last night by accident while shooting bots in a private match. I got a pretty significant drop in frames on shipment ever since they changed it to shipments with all the snow, most likely because of the extra detail they added to the map. So late last night when I was shooting bots in there, I looked up at my FPS and decided to start messing with the upscaling options. I ended up switching it from DLSS to AMD FSR 3.0. Now, I've tried this before and I've never seen much of a difference. But now when you hit show more, there's actually a setting in there that wasn't there before, and it's called AMD frame generation. I'm guessing they added it with the mid-season update. Well, when I turned this setting on and then went back into the game, my FPS jumped from the high 100s to low 200s, all the way up to the high 300s to low 400s. I was literally blown away. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to record it in the 400s because once I started recording, it actually lowered my frames a little, but it literally doubled my FPS. I actually started getting frame tearing because my Alienware 280Hz monitor couldn't handle all the extra FPS. And too many frames is something I've never had a problem with when it comes to Call of Duty. Now, the next day when I told my friend to try it in Warzone Ranked, he said it took him from the low 200s immediately up to the high 400s. Now, granted, he does have a super high-end system with a 4090, but 400 FPS in Warzone running at 1440p is just insane. Now, I'm on a 3090 with a Ryzen 9, so I can get away with keeping the preset on performance, but if you guys are on a little bit of a lower end card, try balance, quality, or native with frame generation turned on and see how much of an increase you can get. You guys can see that when I switch to the other presets, the FPS drops a little with each one, but my frames are still a lot higher than with frame generation turned off. Now, native gives me the best image quality because I'm getting the full 1440p resolution, but it's also giving me the lowest frame increase out of the 5 presets because of that better image quality. But in all reality, I'm still getting a significant FPS boost in native with the best image quality available, and I'm still way better off than I was before. Now, you can see that I'm getting the highest FPS increase when I switch it to Ultra Performance, even hitting over slightly 400 frames per second while recording on the same PC. Now, I wouldn't recommend using Ultra Performance unless you're on something like a 4090, even then there's really no need for it. Now, I loaded into Resurgence on my streaming PC, and it has a 2060 Super with an old i7, and you can see that on the map Vondel, which is still the most taxing when it comes to frames per second. Once I switch AMD frame generation on, my FPS goes from the low 100s up to the high 100s, even hitting over 200 at times. Now, that's with a lower end graphics card and a terrible CPU. Now, with it set to quality, the image is actually pretty good, and the FPS is still way over 150, which is considered the sweet spot for competitive gaming. Now, native does have a slightly better image quality, but on my lower end PC, I'm not getting as much of an FPS boost as I did with my 3090. I'm still getting about 15 to 30 more frames than I normally would, but if I was using this as my main PC, I would definitely still go with quality or balanced. Surprisingly, performance doesn't have that bad of a picture quality for such a lower end system, and it's actually putting me over 200 FPS consistently. I even went down to the more graphically intense parts of the map, and my frames were still really high for this PC. You can even see that when I switch it from performance to quality, my frames are still pretty high for the middle of the map. Like I said before, if you're on a lower end system, I'd go with quality or balanced, but if you're on a higher end PC, go with performance because the FPS increase is insane. The key is just to make sure AMD frame generation is turned on while you're running AMD FSR 3.0. There's literally no reason to use anything else. Guys, I'm going to have a video out next on how to dramatically improve network performance and lower your ping in Warzone. I've been having nothing but problems with my internet and ping until I finally found a bunch of fixes that helped me out tremendously. I was actually in the middle of working on that video when I discovered the FPS increase, but since it was such a major increase, I decided to put this video out first. The network optimizations is going to be a little bit longer of a video, but make sure you check it out because you could end up seeing a massive improvement. It should be out very soon. Just make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you get the actual notification. I have a bunch of FPS and system performance videos planned that should help you guys out a lot with Warzone. If you found this video helpful and it actually worked, do me a favor and drop a like. Follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date on everything Warzone, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more short, straight to the point videos like this. I'll catch you next time, and if not, kick rocks. Peace.
Kick rocks, bitch.